This presentation was created to provide midpoint update on consulting project for W.L. Gore and Associates, a global privately owned company employing approximately 12,000 associates worldwide. It was designed to articulate the scope of the project, to share preliminary data, and to propose interventions to help organization achieve its goals. W.L. Gore and Associates, known for its innovative products and company culture that aims to provide work-life balance. Founded by husband-wife team, organization guiding principles stand at the core of organization culture. Group of student consultants consisting of Ashmira, Brizeta, Carolyn, and Svetlana implemented 5 phases of consultancy by Peter Block to guide us through to successful completion of this project. This presentation will cover phases 1 through 3, demonstrating competency of these preliminary steps. The 3 steps must be completed before consultants move into main event phase of the project, consisting of phase 4, engagement and implementation, and phase 5, extension or termination. These phases will be further addressed in our written report. Block states that by not confronting the task of each phase, we are left with accumulating unfinished business that comes back to haunt us. The group first delved into information available to us through case study and identifying an overreaching concern of work-life balance, leading to overcommitment and possibly a burnout among the associates. Here's Ashmira to further elaborate on phase 1, entry and contracting.
As this is the midpoint check-in with our client, W.L. Gore and Associates, my team and I would have already undertaken the contracting phase with the client. The contracting phase is the first step in the consultancy process and is about negotiating wants from both parties. During this time, it is natural that the client will have mixed emotions, and honestly, this can continue throughout the duration of the partnership. One day, the client could be enthusiastic, and the next day, maybe not so much. Ultimately, the client is trying to ensure that they have control over the initiative and to make sure that they do not look incompetent. They will ask questions that seem surface level to promote that idea. So they will ask us as the consultants what our backgrounds are, what our educations are, to see if we can properly advise on their issues. It is integral to understand all the people involved in the contract. Peter Block discusses the idea of triangular and rectangular contracts. If you as a consultant, the client, and the client's manager are all involved, then that comprises a triangular contract. Now add in the consultant's manager and you have a rectangular contract. In this case, since W.L. Gore and Associates have a more flexible leadership model than most conventional organizations, we identified that Bill Gore and his wife, who were the founders, as well as Ann Gillis, an associate from the HR team in Scotland, and thus having an HR representative from their side, and our consulting team would make up all the members of the contract. With taking into account each person, we have more than a triangular or rectangular contract at play. During the contracting phase, we were able to determine the overarching issue. Employees at this organization are lacking in work-life balance and are overcommitting at work. With this in mind, we will move into the discovery and inquiry.
As a reminder, discovery and inquiry involved our examination of your organization and the determination of your needs. This phase includes highlighting strengths and identifying areas of weakness. As Ajmita pointed out, it is natural to have mixed emotions and desire for control during this process. We want to express that we are committed to providing you with assurance and partnership every step of the way. In order to admit real change, we must continue to work together through honesty, commitment, fluid communication, and respect towards one another as we navigate through differing opinions, fears, and ideas. Our initial observation highlighted the success you have built upon your unique culture and structural approach. Our findings determined that there has been unintentional overcommitment of associates due to the combined nature of the unstructured work environment, flexibility of work hours, and high performance standards. While these elements have attributed to W.L. Gore's success, we have found a need for enhanced work-life balance initiatives to improve internal associate health behaviors. During this process, we have used appreciative inquiry methodology, which is focused on what is working well for your organization, coupled with a whole system collective approach to involve all associates in a company-wide survey measuring work-life balance response through satisfaction, engagement, culture, and opinion-related questions. The use of exit interviews and interviews with permanent leadership were used to gauge work-life balance needs as well. As a reminder, because you are our sole client, we are able to commit the whole team to the implementation process. Once recommendations are finalized and agreed upon by the client and consultant team, and given that necessary permissions and assistance are received, the estimated 6-month implementation timeline is reasonable to accomplish. Lastly, we wanted to provide you with sample questions pulled from the survey and interviews to show examples of questions being asked to current and departing associates during data collection. Moving forward, my colleague Briseda will now provide you with feedback, the decision to act, and our recommendations for WL Gore.
Thank you, Carolyn. The purpose of the feedback action meeting is to present our client with the data that we've gathered during discovery, to share the recommendations that we have formulated to support their goals, and most importantly, to get their reaction to the information that we're sharing with them. This meeting has been structured to ensure productivity and to allow for actionable decisions to be made. We want to address the client's questions and resistance as they arise and want to end with a commitment of action on the client's part. Before sharing our findings with our client, it was important for us to filter through the data that we've gathered and present information that is actionable and under the client's control. Based on the results of the survey that we've conducted and the review of the exit interviews, we've identified the following employee concerns. The lack of a structured work schedule and attendance policy has led many employees to overcommitting and overworking. Employees feel that the lack of accountability due to the organization's culture has caused them to have to pick up the slack of others to ensure operational goals are met. The lack of a defined hierarchy has left many employees with little to no direction or support, causing a loss of confidence in their work and increased stress. Additionally, the information that we received from the employees provided some insight into their attitude towards leadership and the organization. We learned that employees lack trust in the abilities of the leaders. They have a perception that advancement in the organization is driven by favoritism on part of the leaders. As stated by Block, one requirement of the feedback phase is to include this kind of information in our report. The inclusion of personal and organizational data is not to bash or attack our clients, but to bring it to their attention, as it will play a part in the implementation of our recommendations. Along with the issues that we discovered, it is also important to highlight the positive. In general, employees do believe the freedom that the organization gives them can help to create a work-life balance. However, we believe that some improvements need to be made to ensure that the balance is a reality for all employees. Our recommendations are aimed at solidifying a work-life balance and improving employees' overall wellness. We believe that the following initiatives will help achieve our clients' goals. Number 1, wellness is the overall recommendation. Providing education to employees to help them understand what wellness is important. Number 2, company-sponsored gym memberships and other programs to help employees improve physical wellness. Number 3, the addition of stress management and counseling support to the benefits already being provided. Number 4, offering employee subscriptions to applications such as Calm and Headspace as supplemental mental wellness tools. Number 5, creating and using an automated signal or message that goes off to employees around 40 hours to encourage employees to log off. Number 6, facilitating mentor and mentee workshops to rebuild confidence in leadership. And number 7, creating policies for performance management. We believe that these 7 initiatives will help improve the overall wellness of employees, therefore improving their work-life balance.
This concludes Group 3 presentation. Thank you for your time and attention.